Like you are anything which has a form is kind of accessible. So what I have seen in the brain, what has been shown. So there is something which is about, communication is about exchanging in the forms. We exchange in some form or other. So there is some part of formlessness in human life. And we always feel that, okay, that expression is there, but it's not complete. Because there is something I feel, there is some part which is a formless part. So due to this technology, I feel, you are expressing a lot of things in, which can be given a form. So one thing I feel that, people will actually, because this is enabled or triggered, the base has been triggered to this form thing, and people will turn, right away with this, or I want to be, go ahead, get inside.
To add on to that, now we are seeing people are having the multiple avatars. People are exploring when in the web they are exploring that they have another facet of their personality which they probably didn't really afford to. Or probably say we have some people who would be a doctor by profession and who would be a writer by in his web, would be a very famous writer, would be a very popular writer in the web. So he would have discovered that there's another facet. So this is giving an expression, and we are experiencing more of this, as you said, formlessness being pervading.
No, but what he's probably saying, just correct me if I'm wrong, but that there are parts of you, but there are other parts of you that actually are beyond that.
So are we able to track that?
So maybe we have been actually kept away from that because a large part of our life anyway was not informationalizable. It was actually not open at all. So a lot of that got mixed. Now actually large part of my life is going to get informationalized. Somewhere on the digital cloud, I have already a connection with some part of me which has already been opened up and informationalized.
Yeah.
Then the truth is that there is a part of human life which is actually not possible to be informationalized. So maybe whether we will also have that security of, whether we will go back to that abundant world internally while a large part of our life gets more and more out in the open. So that's also a possibility, that actually because now you will have only that little, solace to go back to, then maybe, you have more need to go back. We go to Vipassana because it allows us those 10 days completely by ourselves. As more and more of our life becomes to get out in the public eye, whether we will need more and more of those events when you can, whether you will come back to those even more actively. So that's that part of that which will also get informationalized, but there is still some part of it which you will keep away and nobody will ever get access.
That underline there is a question. You can express yourself in the multiple forms. Does that actually, giving another form explains the formless? I don't know.
I'll tell you what my view on this is, that if the form is born from the subtler levels of the formless, then there is a greater authenticity to it. But if the form is born from the superficial levels of the formless, then it has a hollowness about it. So actually, if you are discerning, you can actually make out the authenticity of the form, right? There is a certain authenticity in the form. Not all forms are valueless or inauthentic.
Yes.
Of course, the form cannot ever completely capture the mystery of the formless. But I think what Prithvi is saying is that as we are going to subtler, basically moving to subtler and subtler levels, like lies will become more subtle, become more difficult. But that is an inevitable movement of the evolution of humanity, to move into the deeper realms of subtlety. And of course, there are grosser dimensions also. But I think that's
yeah, and even I think sometimes the form. Some people, what I've seen, they're more subtle and they actually don't want to give a form. A lot of people. Some people.
It's so interesting. I met somebody in Delhi recently who was writing a book, and the key idea of that book is a true democracy. He's saying most democracies that really exist in the world are not really true democracies. So he calls it a PED, which is participatory ecological democracy. And the profound irony is that he completely resists Facebook and cell phones. So I was sitting with him and I was saying, what are you talking of? If you're talking of ecology and democracy and participation, how can you stay away from, something like Facebook? Or, it's like denying something. So he wrote to me an email just today that, these things are actually happening in the villages. I said, yes, that's one dimension of an earthy aspect of ecology and democracy, but you can't completely deny this and still expect to do justice to something like participatory ecological democracy.
Actually, he's probably ahead of the curve in the sense that as we begin to use more and more of this, as the entire planet begins to use more and more of this, at some point of time, if we become really sensitive enough, actually we may discover that none of this is really necessary.
Yes.
It just allowed us to see
Yeah.
the reality, but we may just drop this. So this isn't really the reason for existence.
Correct.
This is a good toy to play with. It allows us to actually expand our understanding of who we are, but this isn't us. So at some point of time, it may be possible for. So I really see the other part is that a lot of people will get out of this and actually see. It's like this. That
Yeah.
I always say that currently young people are most likely to jump out of the race because the race has been compressed in their life very quickly. They've actually seen the end of the race fast. And the same thing may happen across the planet. That actually all of this would have taken 2-3 lifetimes for people to see the inevitability of the uselessness of all of this. But you have to go through that. As a theoretical, as an intellectual concept, it's useless. But if you've seen the end of the rainbow and you see that there is no pot of gold there, then actually, all of this is just running around for nothing. So I feel that one of the things that will happen definitely is that a large number of people will drop out. And drop out meaning actually that they will see that it is not that it is not useful, it is just that there is no connection to it. You don't need any of this. So it's really strange that we come to this kind of a discussion at the end of such a wonderful But I really see that that's happening, and I see already signs of this happening where people at the fringe are actually, and when I say fringe, actually these people are right in the center of action, but they are quickly creating the fringe around them where they see actually that, it's great. Now the whole world is my contact list, and if you take it metaphorically, actually it changes really what the mean. You don't need any of Facebook. If you are really connected with everybody, then really Facebook is just another surrogate. So you can.
So tell me a little more about these people. So I'm just trying to understand you that these people who feel that this is not necessary are feeling a sense of connection,
Yeah.
which doesn't require the technology.
Yeah.
So like maybe one would say things like telepathic connections, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, or whatever,
Sure.
And so
Actually, it doesn't even need to be telepathic connection. Connection is a context. When you say you are connected, there is no reason for evidence. When Buddha said he's connected, he's not like, now I have to prove that, there are 5 billion connections, across the planet. He has created a context of connection. And that's how everything is happening in nature. Actually, when a tree is connected, it doesn't have any evidence for connection. But the fact of the matter is that its very existence is an expression of connection. And it doesn't need any Facebook. But we need to go through that whole thing in order for us to see that actually connecting, being open, being humble, being available, not having pretenses, are all actually enabling us to see a deeper side of us. In having seen that, you may realize that you may not need that. You don't really need to be in touch with every contact and wish him on his birthday. You wish him all the time, because actually that's really how you are connected. So that's the other funny side of all of this, that it could really
But if you look at the way people used to go to the villages, now people go to the villages, everybody is almost network, and nobody has to, and they also ensure that when you walk and everybody knows about you, they inquire about you. It's like almost like a perfect social network word. The small village when we go, we really don't, everybody knows what our background history is. So in a way, we are almost, through all these, we're also getting back to the old days and everybody knows everything about you.
Yeah, the other thing is that, look at this instance when a village that they have kept aside for seed. To me, this is an expression of connection with the world. That actually I am that this is not mine. This actually belongs to the whole world. So I will starve because it's okay if this node disconnects. But this is really required for all the other nodes to exist. And so to me actually they are the, you've discovered that really what is your role. Your role is actually to ensure that this all goes on, and you've played your part by keeping that seed alive. So I'm saying that this wasn't done by people who are technologically ahead. They were just evolutionary, in an evolutionary way they were ahead. And I think all of us, the way we've gone about in the last 200 years, I think we need something like this to get our sensitivity back. I mean, we've lost the idea that it became such a unipolar world where I am the center of everything, that at some point in time I guess it just, the goodness in man has created willy-nilly an amazing mechanism for us to realize that we are not really the center. We are the center but we are not the center. We are the universe but we are not the universe. And so I think that whole paradox unraveling to us is significant.
Sir, actually, just giving one example, like just 2 days back, what happened is our school building, like that was yellow in color. So now it's being painted white. So one of my friends has put a picture in Facebook telling that it is being painted white, and he has tagged everyone, like 40-50 of our friends he has tagged in that photo. So we all got this thing that we have been tagged, and amazingly, like people whom we haven't talked to even after school, like, they are all commenting on that photo, and for the last 2 days it's like almost 150 comments have come on it. And people from UK, Germany who are settled there, like our classmates, they are commenting on that. So, but the point is, we are all connecting via the Facebook. So yeah, the surrogate here is, surrogate for connection is Facebook. But when the location is different, when the geographical distance is coming, how do we do that otherwise without the surrogate? So we don't have anything.
Sure. I mean, the truth is of course that even when you are not really sending them messages, you are connected. The evidence is that so many messages came. So now we are just finding explicit ways of connecting. But the truth is, you felt connected even without any of that evidence there. And the evidence is that in such a quick time so many came. Now that we have a vehicle, we are using it. But the truth is you are connected with this strange thing called school, which is not even the same color which it was when you were in it. And that's really the truth, that the connection is created by you, and it may feel like it is getting sustained by this new technology, but the truth is you've created a connection, and having gone through the expression of interacting with them, actually this may get deepened, and you will see that your connection with everything in all of those parts of your life will all start getting more alive and rich, till at some point in time you may not require. So I mean, it's a brilliant example.
I think that is evolved from the old earlier days. What news used to matter to us depended on 2 factors. One was magnitude of the event and our proximity to the event. But now it really doesn't matter. Even a small incident that like the painting of the wall has actually mattered to a lot of people and people across the globe. So I think it's more into the new kind of connection that are happening.
And proximity is not anymore geographical distance.
Not geographical. It is through those connections.
You say it's proximity, so it's proximity.
Yeah.
There is no other evidence of